Okay, so he did go there. President Obama scared grandparents across the nation when he told CBS News yesterday they might not get their Social Security checks next month. My friend Rush Limbaugh pointed out that the president was up to some funny business. Take a look.
If I didn't know better, I would say the White House gave Scott Pelley a script. This is an outrage here, because this is not true, and this is, my God, it is the playbook. Hold senior citizens and military people hostages here. It's not just the Social Security checks, it's veterans checks. It's right out of the playbook.
Mr. Obama should have known seniors will continue to get their money even if the debt talks break down. That is, unless you, sir, choose to put one of your green energy projects in front of America's senior citizens in the who gets paid line. By the way, Mr. Obama failed to point out that the Social Security Trust Fund has a $2.6 trillion fund ready for grandma and grandpa. Bob, what's with the fear-monger in chief?
What he's saying is, I know it comes as a shock to you, what he's saying to you is the truth of what the Republicans, with their inability to understand history or understand the importance of this country, are willing to put us through because of their silly position on taxes. The fact is they won't get Social Security checks. The fact of the matter is they won't be veterans benefits. The fact is if you let the Republicans
but that's
go
not
forward...
A fact, Bob. That's not a fact. The fact is they would get Social Security checks.
Why do you say that?
Because there's according to the administration, there's $2.6 trillion sitting in the trust fund. Why wouldn't you tap the trust fund?
That's the money that we've paid the trust fund. We've borrowed from the trust fund. Right? So we've also borrowed a lot of money.
So we've borrowed and it's no longer there. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that it's in a trust fund. If the debt limit was increased, you'd have it.
This is not a new ploy. I've seen this before. In fact, it actually helps sell magazines. I don't know if you remember this magazine from the 70s. Very famous. Do you have it? Come on. There you go. This is Obama's strategy right here. If you don't raise the debt ceiling, we're going to get rid of Granny. In this case, of course, they didn't kill the dog. But the message is still the same, and it doesn't work.
It was the same with Medicare. Granny goes off a cliff. Remember the recent budget debate? Women won't be able to get abortions. Oh, no. Obamacare, they did the same thing. It's like Halloween up on the hill.
Fear-mongering. I'm pretty sure President Bush never fear-mongered like this. I mean, making threats.
Well, he didn't threaten not to...
$2.6 trillion sitting there. Come on.
He didn't threaten not to pay Social Security. I do think what's interesting is that this debate has moved beyond. You have the fact that the House cannot pass tax increases. They couldn't under the Pelosi House either, so I think it's a little bit ridiculous to say that Republicans just want to starve government. I do think that we have a representative government for a reason, and the people are saying we are wanting spending cuts, not just raising the debt limit. There was a development yesterday where Senator Mitch McConnell put forward a creative plan that I think will probably be rejected by the House, at least initially. It's not good enough for the conservatives, and I think that there's going to be this will go down to the White House.
Well, they're not conservatives. These people are right-wingers. Let's put it what they are. And by the way, George Bush didn't scare seniors. That's right. What he did was saying, if we don't go to Iraq, we're going to be subjected to weapons of mass destruction, which we still haven't found. But leaving that aside...
that is so ridiculous.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Why?
And I've just about had it with liberals who bring that up all the time, and it's just baloney.
Go, Dana.
And there are so many... everybody had the same information. Even one of your favorite liberals, John Kerry, they all voted for it. Secretary Clinton when she was a senator. So why don't we just take Iraq, WMD off the table? We can talk about Social Security.
Well, you know what? Whether they did or didn't, America was certainly safe between 2000 and 2008. I don't remember any terrorist attacks on American soil during that period of time. All right, hold on. Let's move on.
I just don't think we should use terrorism as a leverage in the Social Security debate.
Let's do this, though. Let's do this. Dana pointed out something very important. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell floated an idea. He called it a backup plan in case the debt talks break down. And in it, the Republicans give Mr. Obama authority to raise the debt ceiling $2.5 trillion in 3 tranches if he just go ahead and promises to cut spending. And by the way, he's not allowed to cross his fingers when he promises.
It's risky politics because what he's hoping is that he can put the onus on President Obama and Republicans can blame President Obama if he raises the debt ceiling on his own. I got to say, though, as policy, it stinks. It absolutely stinks. I agree with Pat Toomey. He was on Fox News earlier. He came out and he said, look, we have a real opportunity here. The only reason that we're talking about shrinking government is because of the Tea Party, is because of these right-wingers. And it's important. We have to do it now. And I think Republicans should stand firm and really box the president on policy.
You don't shrink the size of the federal budget deficit with the threat of doing away with the good faith and credit of the United States government. It is so irresponsible.
It's going to get raised no matter what.
I mean, I'm ready to throw it to upchuck here. These people are just so idiotic that they can't figure this out.
Was President Obama idiotic when he said that he would vote against raising the debt limit? Okay, well, at least we have all that.
I know this is a bad idea when Harry Reid was for it. That's what scares me. It's like your wife's divorce attorney saying it's a great settlement.
But don't you think Mitch McConnell, who's a serious guy, I have my disagreements with him, but at least the adults in the Republican Party are saying we can't let this happen. In the meantime, you've got Tanner.
Wait a second. I'm so tired of this adult-child metaphor. They're using whenever they're talking about Obama is the adult in the room. Anybody who agrees with Obama is the adult. Anybody who disagrees with him is a child. Used to be you were a racist. Now you're a child.
No, now if you're a Tea Party, I'm going to give you rattles.
But here's the thing. The Tea Party is responsible for the House going Republican in 2010. They promised they wouldn't do things like raise the debt ceiling arbitrarily or let Obama
I don't think that's what they campaigned on.
Dan, is Mitch McConnell, is he the established Republican throwing the Tea Party or the ultra-fiscal conservatives under the bus?
No, I don't think so. I have the utmost respect for Senator McConnell. I also think this does not have to be such a partisan issue. I actually don't know a single Republican who says that we should just go ahead and not raise the debt limit. Actually, people are trying to come to the table and say, we've got a plan for cutting spending. You want to raise taxes. We're not for that.
Unequivocally, Bachmann says don't raise the debt.
About 80 to 100 Republicans have said that they would vote against any kind of raising of the debt ceiling, which I don't agree on, but there's got to be spending cuts tied to it. Absolutely.
If
not now, when? To quote President Obama.
If there's a chance to show tomorrow when a poll is finished, which I happen to know a good deal about, they put before the American people the four options: the 4.2 trillion option, including raising taxes on upper income people, the thing Obama and Boehner proposed, the middle level one, and then not having a debt increase. The upper level one, the 4.2, including tax increases, overwhelmingly was supported by Democrats, independents, and this will get you crazy, Republicans.
Yeah, Republicans, not fiscally conservative Republicans, though.
Well, we got all Republicans.
Well, but it's important, Bob, because, Greg, the Tea Party is responsible for bringing a lot of people, a lot of Republicans to the House, and frankly,
Boehner would not be in charge if it wasn't for the Tea Party. They're the reason why everybody is talking about this, and you can't disown them. I think McConnell blinked, which I think was kind of sad. It was like trying to negotiate for a used car.
You can look at it a different way, which is that Senator McConnell will put the onus on President Obama, saying that up to 3 times before the re-election.
It is tough politics. It's tough politics for Obama to do it, but I will say this: I'll give the Tea Party this. They have brought this agenda to the table. I don't disagree with that. They organize very well, but I'm telling you, in the end, they represent a small minority of this country.
But I don't know. It's a new group of people we've never seen.
Have you looked at the polls?
I'm a fiscally conservative person. Yes, absolutely. I support the Tea Party.
I got to tell you, they're made up of people that have never been in politics before. These are people that have had regular jobs, own their small businesses. This is the first time they became politically active. Like I always say, they don't throw chairs through windows because they own the chairs and they own the windows. This is the first time in the political arena.
They have done a good job of organizing themselves. I'll give you that, and they have an inordinate impact on the Republican caucuses and primaries. That's why they're important,
guys.
But as a percentage of the country, they're a minority.
Dana points out that it's McConnell.
It's McConnell. You look at the polling. You do polling for a living. You know that a majority of Americans want the government to shrink. That's not a Republican or a Democratic issue. And independents,
It's not my polling. You ask Gallup, you look at the rest of them. The percentage of Tea Party negatives are about 57
you know what
58%.
It is? It's McConnell giving the ball to Obama. When you win the toss in a football game, you receive. You don't kick. Coming up on the 5 online gamblers and pot smokers